was not a top 50 verse.
New song?
No, but you
don't like Ace Trumpets?
What's so great about it?
It's so good.
T or Malice?
To keep it a buck, I'm gonna go with Pusha T. So we're not gonna drink to them.
My son can't tell you one Nas record. You heard? Like, let's keep it a buck here.
Yeah, but
let's
Welcome back to the spot where the truth behind fame gets exposed. Jim Jones just lit up the internet after stirring drama with not one, not two, but three hip-hop legends: Nas, Pusha T, and No Malice. What started as a few offhand comments has turned into a wild, full-blown industry storm. Jim's casual words have now snowballed into one of the most dramatic comebacks hip-hop has seen in years. It's no longer just talk. This is straight-up legacy warfare. Jim's remarks didn't just ruffle feathers. They might have woken up a legendary duo from the shadows. That one interview didn't just start a conversation. It may have resurrected the Clips. What started as Jim Jones brushing off Nas's legacy has turned into a full-blown lyrical showdown, exploding right in front of Pharrell, Beyoncé, and Jay-Z at Paris Fashion Week. The man who once downplayed Pusha T's impact is now caught in the middle of a master-planned high-profile rollout. And the wild part? His own words might have just handed the Clips the perfect comeback ticket into the game. What Jim didn't realize is who he was really going up against. Nas isn't the type to waste time on disses or social media talk. He moves in silence. While others post, Nas partners with billionaires, rebuilds his community, and flexes through power moves that speak louder than words. So while Jim kept making noise, Nas stayed quiet and strategic. Instead of firing back, he dropped one of the classiest power plays hip-hop has ever witnessed. On Instagram, Nas revealed his role in a $5 billion casino project right in Queens, his own backyard. The caption said it all: "Time to invest in us." That post wasn't just about money moves. It was a message loud and clear. Nas was letting everyone know he's playing in a whole different league now, way past entertainment and too focused to care about surface-level talk. If Jim had stopped there, things might have cooled off. But nope. He doubled down and went for Pusha T. In a bold and kind of reckless move, Jim claimed Pusha T wasn't even top 50, completely brushing off a discography that's been respected for decades. What he didn't realize was that someone was quietly paying attention. No Malice. The other half of the Clips was tuned in, and one careless comment may have done what fans had been praying for: reignite the legendary duo. Now the whole industry's on edge. Did Jim Jones just accidentally bring the Clips back together with one wild take? Let's rewind, because this story runs deep.
The future is not something you wait for. It's something you build. It lives in the hands of the doers, the dreamers, the people who refuse to stand still. Resorts World is more than a casino. It's energy. It's opportunity. It's hope for the borough. A second chance for some, a first step for many. It's where community gathers, not just to win, but to build a future once imagined. This isn't just business. This is legacy. And now it's time.
The Clips had been silent for nearly 15 years. For years, the Clips had been living in the shadows of their own legacy. But behind the scenes, moves were already being made, long before Jim Jones ever opened his mouth. Pusha T had quietly dropped a hint in a Rolling Stone interview, saying he was trying to bring his brother back into the game. I'm like, yo, listen to what I just made. We can really do this, he said. And he brushes me off. Then he added, if I had it my way, it would be Clips. It's really up to my brother. At the time, it sounded like nothing more than wishful thinking. But Jim's comments, they might have just lit the fire Pusha needed. Soon after, reunion rumors started bubbling. First at Pharrell Something in the Water Festival, where the Clips hit the stage in 2022. Then again, at Chicago's Hyde Park Summerfest, the brothers stood shoulder to shoulder, tearing through Lord Willin' and Hell Hath No Fury. No Malice looked recharged, like he had something left to prove. But what came next was next level. The Clips were spotted walking the Louis Vuitton runway in Paris, hand in hand with Pharrell himself. This wasn't just fashion. This was pure strategy. Pharrell had just stepped up as the new creative director for Louis Vuitton Men's, and this moment marked a serious shift from nostalgia to momentum. Sitting front row were none other than Jay-Z and Beyoncé, nodding in approval as the show took a wild turn. Midway through the runway, the speakers exploded with a brand new Clipse track titled Question Must. The beat hit hard, sharp, heavy, and locked right on Jim Jones. There was zero confusion about who the target was. Pusha T didn't hold back. This wasn't just a diss track, it was a statement, a lyrical bullet fired in the heart of Paris Fashion Week itself, surrounded by billionaires, fashion icons, and culture heavyweights. And behind it all, Pharrell. His role wasn't just creative, it was tactical. Fans immediately started piecing it together. Was this Pharrell's silent revenge plan? A carefully crafted chess move launched from the runway of Louis Vuitton, meant to strike back without saying a single word. Years of slick remarks from Jim Jones might have finally caught up to him, especially since he'd been publicly riding with Pusha T's biggest rival, Drake.
Sing along the 5 Pusha T records right now. His records.
Yes.
His records?
Yeah.
Name
I love
them.
Pusha. Nostalgia.
Oh, you was a Pusha T fan. He's
You
like,
know, you know.
I didn't know he had fans like
No.
that. Can you name 5 Pusha T records? No,
Dreaming of
his
the
record.
Past.
Pusha T. I love your soul, my dog. You're not in my top 50. You might be in Charlemagne's top 50 and things like that.
Pusha
But
top 50.
you haven't done that much for me in my life. Like I didn't never want to be like Pusha. I never had a Pusha moment in my life. I never thought like you dig. Like where I'm from, just want to be like you if you was really that dude and that rapper and things
Wayne
like that.
wanted to
It's
be like Pusha.
yeah,
He was influenced by Pusha.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's why Pusha did the Mr. Me Too record.
Okay, cool.
In multiple interviews, including one with Complex, Jim didn't hold back, straight up calling Drake the greatest of all time. That move sent a message loud and clear. He wasn't just showing love to Drake, he was picking a side in one of hip-hop's most iconic rivalries. And guess what? Pharrell might have clapped back without saying a single word. Just like that, the Clipse didn't need a press release or some flashy single drop. They made their return with the Precision Strike, a lyrical ambush aired live in front of the world's most elite crowd, fashion moguls, music legends, and billionaires all watching it unfold. This comeback wasn't random. It was orchestrated. Every beat, every line was crafted to remind the world just how deep the Clipse's influence runs. For Jim, it might have felt like just another opinion. But for Pusha T and No Malice, it was bigger than talk. It was a setup, a grand reintroduction, a moment to let the music speak louder than any podcast ever could. Now the question everybody's asking, did Jim Jones just hand No Malice the most unexpected comeback in modern rap history? Or did he just help bury his own credibility? Because here's the wild part. The Clipse haven't even dropped a full project yet. No track list, no rollout, no release date. And still, their return is shaking up the entire industry in real time. And standing right behind all that chaos, Pharrell, the mastermind, not just the Clipse's producer, but their creative backbone, their brother in sound. So when Jim called the Clipse irrelevant, mocked their catalog, and questioned their legacy, he wasn't just taking shots at Pusha T. He was trying to erase an entire chapter of hip-hop, a chapter Pharrell helped write. But that story, it's far from over. For more than a decade, No Malice stayed in the shadows, the quiet one, the voice of reason. He traded lyrical warfare for spiritual peace, stepping away from the rap game to follow his faith. Most thought he'd never touch the mic again.
Make some noise for the Clipse. Mr. Genesis.
Now hold on. DC, make some noise for the Clipse, y'all.
But things are about to change. While Pusha T kept holding down the Clipse legacy, No Malice had been walking a totally different path, until his voice suddenly boomed through the speakers at Pharrell's Louis Vuitton showcase in Paris. That moment wasn't just surprising, it was shocking. No Malice wasn't simply returning, he was making a statement, and nothing about it was random. His lyrics were surgical, sharp, layered, and dripping with meaning. Take the line, "Bird talk, we all parrots." At first, it sounds like slick wordplay, but fans instantly caught the deeper message. A direct jab at Jim Jones and his Bird gang ties. That line didn't just hit, it crushed the very image Jim had built over the years, and it got deeper. The cities No Malice mentioned, Paris and Dallas, were the same ones Jim dropped in his own freestyle about chains and whips. This wasn't coincidence, it was precision. No Malice wasn't just spitting bars, he was responding, showing he'd been listening the whole time. Every lyric had weight, every bar had purpose. But what came next caught fans even more off guard. No Malice didn't sound like a man just dusting off his old talent. He came in sharp, focused, and ready. This wasn't a hesitant comeback. This was a straight-up warning shot. And the craziest part? Jim Jones had unknowingly set the whole stage himself. Then came the clip that sent social media buzzing. Jim laughing off the Clips' Paris runway diss on Instagram. At first, it looked like classic Jim, brushing it off, acting unbothered. But things flipped fast once he showed up on Drink Champs. When the host brought up the diss, that laid-back energy disappeared. The laughter stopped. His tone got serious, and the whole vibe shifted. That moment said it all. Under the jokes, Jim felt that diss. He might have played it cool online, but deep down, it was personal. And sure enough, he hit the booth, clapping back with his own Chains and Whips freestyle over the same beat the Clips used to call him out. Then came the BET Awards. Jim sat down with Bootleg Kev for a quick chat, still trying to keep his cool, still staying in character. But everyone knew the pressure was on. Jim tried to play it cool again, shrugging off the Clips' track Question Must as nothing more than tired nostalgia, saying their bars had no bite. But to everyone watching, it didn't look confident. It looked like he was losing ground. The vibe had shifted, and Jim was fighting to keep his place while the spotlight started drifting away. See, when the very artists you once dismissed start regaining power and respect, your choices get real simple. Evolve or double down. And Jim? He doubled down hard. In a now viral moment on Nightcap with Shannon Sharpe, he reignited his long-running shots at Nas. This time, he claimed Nas was never truly influential, saying he always came second to giants like Jay-Z and DMX. He even went as far as to compare Nas's career trajectory, and that's when things really started heating up. Jim pushed it even further, comparing Nas's so-called fall-off to Michael Jordan after Space Jam. Fans and critics couldn't believe it. The comment sounded less like an opinion and more like straight-up revisionist history. People were baffled, wondering if Jim was just reaching for shock value at this point. Meanwhile, the Clips stayed completely silent, letting their moves do the talking. While Jim was out chasing headlines, the Clips were busy building a legacy play. Their long-awaited reunion album, Let the Lord Sort Them Out, quietly entered rollout mode, and if Chains and Whips was the warning shot, this album was the full-blown war plan. This wasn't just a comeback, it was a reclaiming of power. Every move the Clips made looked deliberate, strategic, and perfectly aligned to remind the world exactly who they are. Sharpened by years of patience and silence, the Clips made their message crystal clear. Real legacy doesn't need noise, it needs precision. Their rollout was more than just an album drop, it was an event. The project featured Nas, Kendrick Lamar, Tyler, The Creator, The Dream, John Legend, and executive production from none other than Pharrell Williams. But the biggest twist? It all went down behind the scenes. The album was set to release under Def Jam, until the label allegedly tried to censor Kendrick's verse. And that verse, according to insiders, took slick aim at Drake, Travis Scott, and the shady side of industry politics. The Clips didn't back down for a second. They refused to edit a single bar. Instead, they walked away on the spot. The Clips made a power move, pulling their entire project from Def Jam and taking it straight to Roc Nation. That one decision said everything. They weren't here to play by anybody's rules. This wasn't some nostalgic comeback. This was the return of architects of the culture. And when Jim Jones questioned who really stood behind Pusha T, the answer hit like a mic drop. Roc Nation, Pharrell, Nas, Kendrick, and a lineup of hip-hop's past and future elite all united behind the Clips. It didn't happen overnight, but the shift in power was undeniable. Jim wasn't just getting dissed anymore. He was being quietly replaced. Not blackballed, not canceled. Just benched while the real players took the floor. And for a man who built his career on loud loyalty and even louder controversy, that silence must have stung worse than any diss track. The silence hit harder than any diss verse ever could. So when the Clips finally drops that long-awaited record with Nas, it's not just going to be a response. It's going to feel like a eulogy. Every bar sharpened with precision, layered in legacy, and carrying the full weight of the culture. Sure, Jim can still rap, post, and talk his talk. But behind the scenes, tours are getting booked, meetings are being sealed, visuals are being locked in, and none of it involves him. So the real question isn't, will Jim clap back? It's, will anybody care when he does? What was supposed to go viral might have turned into something way worse. Jim Jones being quietly erased from hip-hop's timeline. But what do you think, huh? So what do you think? Did Jim Jones push it too far, or does he still have a shot at redemption? Drop your thoughts down below. I want to hear what you think. And if you made it this far, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you never miss another twist in this wild hip-hop saga. This story's far from over. Trust me, things are just heating up. Check out the next video on your screen and stay locked in.